Hi guys, welcome to Mala's Verse. Welcome if you're new here, welcome if you have been here before. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we are in a new place. New in the terms of a new setup, but I have so wanted to shoot a reading, or film a reading in my balcony or a terrace, whatever you would want to call it. And yeah, we will have a lot of disturbances because everyone's awake and doing their work. But I hope my sound and essentially the message gets through clear for all of us. So before we get into the reading, take a few deep breaths and breathe out through your mouth. All right. I'm just excited to shoot here because it's a little bit awkward because people can see me, but hurrah, let's conquer our fears or weirdness and embrace our weirdness. So I'm going to use the Crow Tarot, Golden Universal Tarot, and also Santa Muerte and Muerte or Muerte. I don't know. Please help me with the pronunciation. But I love this deck, and I have not never used it. I have not used it in a long time. So I feel like this is a very coming to a full circle energy, which many of you might be feeling, especially. I wonder if many of you might be experiencing things that you experience, especially in 2020. It doesn't have to resonate with everybody. Anyway, we are going to look into what is this transformative energy that we are all going through and the guidance around it, how to maneuver strategically through this energy. So, first, let's see what is the energy around this change, this transformation. What is the energy exactly? Hmm. We are using the crow tarot, and I hope you guys can hear the crows cawing in the background. Um, anyway, so we have the King of Swords, Nine of Swords, Four of Swords. The very first thing that's coming to mind is so interesting that I'm talking about the mind because the Swords energy is all about the mind. With King of Swords and Nine of Swords, everywhere we were forcing a mindset which was not helping us, or forcing a mindset that was supposed to empower us, but it did not. Maybe because not that the intention or the mindset was wrong, but more so we was very strict about it, in the sense we were not giving ourselves any leeway to make any mistakes or to skip a step or stuff like that. Or if we were making mistakes, we were being very mad about it. With the Nine of Swords, we were probably, it was an overkill in terms of how much we were being angry at ourselves, or being very strict with ourselves. It was not required. And in fact, with the Four of Swords, this is about healing, this is about rest. So I do perceive that these changes, whatever changes are happening right now, is to stand truly in what the King of Swords represents, because the King of Swords in its distorted energy could be very much manipulative, very much passive aggressive, and a lot of mind games. So that's why I do perceive that a lot of mind games that we were playing with ourselves in terms of wanting to improve, or in the light of wanting to have more self awareness, and wherever we were compromising our well being, compromising being human in that journey, that is being brought to light, is what I'm perceiving. And more healing is coming towards that. With the Four of Swords here, we are moving towards more healing, where we are being prompted to rest more, we are being prompted to genuinely take care of our body, mind, body and soul, all of it, not just focusing on one aspect and forgetting about the well-being of ourselves as a whole being. I do perceive that is what's happening in the energy right now. And now I'm going to pull cards as to what is it that we're not seeing about this transformation. So yeah, I'm just pulling two cards. We have Court cards, a lot of court cards. We have Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords. I wonder if you're forcing, um, with the intention of creating compassion for ourselves, or with the intention of maybe self-love, or under the pretext of self-love, if we are forcing ourselves to achieve a target, and we are not actually coming from an abundant place of compassion, it's like forced compassion is what I'm receiving. So that's what we are not seeing. So that's again this thing that's coming up about self improvement, or wanting to be ahead in life in terms of what you were maybe a year ago, maybe 1 year ago, maybe a month ago, or a few years ago, whatever it is. But I feel like that self care or self nourishment is being forced rather than it coming naturally to the collective here. And that's what we need to look at and embrace the journey with all of its ups and downs, for with all of its good, bad, ugly, and great traits that would come along within the journey. In fact, those traits that those four traits coming up for all of us, or individually for us within the journey, I do perceive that we need to hold space for that and not be mad at ourselves for slipping up, for making a mistake, for not following the regime or routine entirely, as to the T, or what we had defined should be the routine or pathway, or what the map was, not what the map, or the map that we had laid for ourselves, like we had laid in front of us. And if we missed a stop, that's completely fine. What we need to realize is that's where we need to give ourselves nurturance, that's where we need to give ourselves compassion, places where we may not have received compassion from our parents, or from those that we wanted, as who were adults around us when we were growing up. So instilling that compassion again, exactly, is at these spots, or at these points where we knew we might have slipped up in a similar energy growing up, but we did not require we did not get the required compassion or space that needs to be held for a human being who's trying to understand themselves, or recovering, or understanding the world. So wherever we were not given that space to bloom into ourselves growing up, or in a certain phase of our lives, it could be any or both. And that's what we need to realize, that's where we need to give ourselves compassion. I was looking up at, or almost looking up at the sky for a moment, because I think a bird flew by and I could feel the wind that exact moment when I was about to say, essentially what we are not looking at is how much we are putting ourselves down, even though what we're trying to do is to love ourselves. So, having compassion for every single bit of you, every single piece of you, every single pore of you that you may even deem to be negative or foolish or stupid because of what you did in the past, or what you knew in the past. Release all that. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in compassion, ease, and love for yourself, and breathe out all that doesn't serve you, all that's not a part of who you are at this point in time, and even going forward. Say thanks to those parts, because you did what you did at that time with the knowledge that you had. You did your best, and now you know even more, you're doing better. So just embrace that and keep moving forward. And now I'm going to see with the Golden Universal Tarot, Ace of Wands. See, renewal of the spirit, renewal or refreshed energy of soul of the spirit. So, what is it that spirit or universe or source wants us to know about this specifically? Because that was a specific question that was coming to my mind while looking at these energies. So, we have, I'm going to pull three cards. Seven of Pentacles is showing up, which reminds me of patience. We have Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Queen of Cups showing up again. Wow. Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. Okay, I just need one clarifier for what the Queen of Cups is. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, we are juggling a few things here, thinking that it will bring us stability, and we feel with the Queen of Cups, I feel like there is an imbalanced awareness of what the Queen of Cups is within ourselves or how we are approaching life right now. So, Queen of Cups, when she's balanced, she's very nurturing, she's very loving, and she's extremely intuitive. So, I do feel like because the emotions within us are not balanced right now, we are facing, you know, unwanted results with methods or ways of thinking or routines that we thought would work for us in some way, shape, or form. So that's, creating that victim mentality or a defeatist attitude in ourselves in one way, shape, or form. And that's the balancing act that's going on, where we feel like, we did not get the result, yet we still want to continue the routine because we somehow have heard, or we do know in some way, shape, or form it does work for us, maybe not 100%. So there's a distorted view of self-love right now, and definitely there is this impatience as to why have the fruits not born yet, why have the trees not bore the fruit yet, right, of the seeds that you have planted, or the plants have not bore the fruit yet. And so what's happening is we are not pushing our limits in terms of how much self love we can have for us ourselves. So there's a complacency energy, is what I'm perceiving, which we may not know with the changes happening right now. There's a complacency within us where we know, okay, so I have this routine which helps me have more energy, but I do know that it interrupts with this and this thing. Yet, um, and those things are not negligible, they are not of lesser value. It's just that you have considered this thing in your mind that I have to compromise to get this result, and this is the only way I can, follow that routine. So there is this energy coming from source, and I feel like it's an aggressive energy coming through from source, that we have to push our limits and recognizing what genuine, rooted, secure, and sincere love towards oneself is, where love towards oneself may even mean that we have to be disciplined in different ways. Maybe we have to be disciplined in the kind of thoughts we are thinking, how much time or energy are we spending in the past, or giving value to the past, what are we making significant, and things that we are making significant, are they even that significant or not? Are those things resolve, if resolvable is a word, or are those things that can get to a resolution on their own, or with the passage of time, with the Seven of Pentacles here? And is it just that we are becoming impatient, and we have accepted that impatience and become complacent in where we are with the Nine of Cups? Because I don't feel like this is wish fulfillment. This is like we are making something as, or essentially make believing that what we are experiencing right now, that's the upper limit of what we can have. But that's not the case at all. We have to clear up our energies, our emotions around what genuine self compassion and love is, what is nurturing for the soul. And maybe that nurturing means that we have to give up on vices around thoughts, on vices around what we want to feel, in terms of these feelings are not for our growth. We have to dive deep into understanding what feelings will genuinely create greater for us, because familiarity can be our biggest enemy in in many ways, shape, or form. Because we want to be, I mean, it's much easier for us to be in a familiar hell than to step into an unknown future, which could be a plethora of infinite possibilities. So there might be a familiarity of discontent, and we are sticking to that. And we might have concluded it in our mind that this is the best we can have, but we are being pushed to embrace our dreams to the fullest. Like, what would be your attitude if you were to encourage your own child or someone you love deeply to pursue their dreams? Would you let them just stop at the first few challenges, or would you be like a soft, kind, Yet empowering father like figure, a disciplined figure with the King of Swords, who has the higher perspective, who is patient, especially with the Saturn energy here, who is patient, who knows how to nurture things from the ground all to the way up, from the ground to the way up. And, you know, have it's not patience in terms of you're losing out on life, it's just patience in terms of letting things take their time. And energy, when it goes from one form to another, it may take some time to change its form depending on what the situation is, so don't quote me here. And we just have to let that time be, right? Let it take its natural time, and not give up or compromise on what we genuinely want to create here with the Nine of Cups. What is that genuine wish fulfillment? What is a strategy that you've not been accepting or wanting to try out because you feel that you don't deserve it in some way, shape, or form? Is there an underlying or an undercurrent of that belief within yourself? We need to check that with ourselves. So, and then of course break free from the limitations we might have created in our minds about what genuine self-love is. What would be an ideal energy of a parent figure, especially of a father figure, who is someone who's going to push you to your limits but from a loving place, and because they know what potential you carry, they know what capacities you have, they know what you can actualize and manifest in the world. So if you are that figure to your own self, to your own inner child, how would you move forward? And lastly, I'm going to check what is the guidance around the strategy we need to apply here. We we have the Hierophant, yeah. So like spiritual teacher, as I was getting that masculine energy more than the feminine energy, and the role of that masculine energy is to let that feminine energy flourish with a direction or with even protection and care. So I'm going to pull more cards. We have we have Two of Swords and Strength, and the bottom deck energy is again Two of Pentacles, which is I think Capricorn energy, Two of Pentacles. And it's interesting that the Two of Pentacles in this deck actually reminds me of Two of Cups more than Two of Pentacles, and Page of Swords beneath that, which is interesting again to me because this is yellow in color. So empowering thoughts, empowering inner dialogue, because Page of Swords, I would associate that with, the blue color here with the Two of Swords energy, because swords is about the mind and communication. So that's not, I mean, the color here is actually yellow rather than blue. So this does indicate that, researching ways to improve your lifestyle, to take steps that empower you, or maybe write an empowering script for yourself, write empowering things about yourself, write things that empower you in terms of how would it be to live the life that you really want to live. If all your goals have manifested, how would it be? What would you feel in your gut? What will you feel in your body? That's what you need to look into. I feel like that's one of the main strategies here. And with so the two energy is very strong, again about balance of the yin and yang, masculine feminine energy. Two of Swords and the Strength card, so that's Leo and Libra energy. And as far as I know, Leo and Libra have very good compatibility as zodiac signs. And Leo is all about the heart, Libra is about the mind, but it's again about relationships. So I wonder if this is, understanding how can you create empowerment for yourself within your existing relationships. So taking guidance from a spirit guide, from someone you believe in, as your mentor, would be very helpful at this point in time. It can also help you cut cords. I feel like cutting cords with what you thought was strengthening belief, and this could be strengthening belief, a strengthening belief about yourself, So is it a strengthening belief or no? So what I'm getting is specifically the belief is extremely strong, because of which we have the strength card, but the belief is what you have presumed to be um, supportive in nature, but it really is not. You have to let go of, and because the typical Rider-Waite system, the strength card has a lady um, pulling apart or closing a lion's mouth. It could be either way. So it's like embracing the ferociousness within you, but not letting it take a command over you, or not letting your shadows take a command over you. So cutting energetic cords to whatever strengthens or gives the shadow aspect of yours more power over you, without your own awareness, without your own permission. So having more control over your shadow. So this could be cutting off, like I said, ways of thinking or beliefs that you think are probably supportive, or the beliefs you have about certain relationships that you think are supportive. Maybe they are not, and it's not indicating necessarily that they are unsupportive. It's just that maybe these beliefs are taking away from you, from your life force, from your energy, and from your time, more than you realize. So that is why what's coming through is to have the patience and perseverance. And this, I was just checking if my mic is working. So have the patience, perseverance, and hold space for yourself as you go through this energy. And definitely take support from your spirit guides, from your spiritual team, from your mentor, or if you, of course, if you believe or have seen certain tools or strategies work from work that have been provided or shared by some other influencer who is mentoring in nature, or people who just mentor in general through their content, or you are enrolled into the program, whatever it is. Or if it could very well be an older person who gives really wise advices. So just consult with them, ask for their support, ask what would they do in this situation. And if they know you very well, ask them what would be the best way to optimize your strengths during this transition, and how can you use your strengths to cut off these vices which may not be in some way, shape, or form helping you. Because I feel like, what even if it's like beliefs around certain relationships, or what you believe that relationship is for you, in terms of what role you play, what responsibilities are yours, I feel like there's a strong need here to cut off those beliefs which are not actually empowering you. You have to tweak them, twist them, or just change their perspective in a way in yourself. You have to change your perspective about them within yourself, so that eventually it becomes a strength of yours and not a weakness. Wow. So that's all that I have for you guys, for all of us as a collective. I hope that I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And I did not mean it to drag along for this long, because I was aiming for just 13 minutes or 14 minutes rather. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. I hope that this was helpful. Do share your thoughts and do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do like, share, subscribe to the channel if you really like the video. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in future readings. Bye bye.